So kita dah pun tengok kepada reporting environment of financial reporting and analysis. So right now we're going to take a look at the nature and purpose of financial accounting. So in this subtopic, we're going to take a look at the desirable qualities of accounting information, which means that what makes your accounting information's qualities. Okay, so kita akan tengoklah apa yang menyebabkan accounting information you tu berkualiti. Apakah elemen-elemen yang perlu ada untuk menjadikan accounting information tu berkualiti. Second is the important principle of accounting. And the third, we're going to take a look at the relevance and limitations of accounting. In these desirable qualities of accounting information, we already classified the qualities into two categories, which are, first is the primary qualities and second is the secondary qualities. In primary qualities, it consists of relevant and reliability, and in the secondary qualities consists of comparability and consistency. So these are the four elements that will make your accounting information qualities. So what is relevance? Relevance is the capacity of information to affect a decision, which means that from your accounting information, it will affect the decision making. Okay. Now let's go to the reliability. For information to be reliable, it must be verifiable, representationally faithful, and neutral. When your accounting information consists of these three elements, verifiable, representation faithful, and neutral, then we call it as reliable accounting information. So what is the verifiability? Verifiability means the information is confirmable. Faithfulness means information reflects reality, reflects the economic reality. It's true lah. Okay. And then neutral means it is truthful and unbiased. So bila information tu tepat, they reflect the economic reality and unbiased, then it called has reliability. However, this accounting information often demands a trade-off between relevance and reliability. Okay. For example, reporting forecasts increase relevance but reduce reliability. Macam ni, bila semakin tinggi relevance, semakin berkurang the reliability. Okay, contoh kita manager, okay. Kita ialah engineering manager, and so we decide to kita consider untuk install higher capacity machine untuk production area. Tiba sales manager bentang dia punya forecast, dia punya future. So dia kata dia forecast yang sales akan berkurang, sales next month akan berkurang ke, ataupun sales next year akan berkurang ke, okay, due to COVID-19, right? So itu ya accounting information. Relevan ke tak relevan? Relevan lah kalau tengok, sebab kan of course dia buat pembintangan tu daripada accounting information. Tapi kita boleh rely tak? tak semestinya kita boleh rely. So kalau berdasarkan kepada forecast dia, of course kita tak akan beli new machine tu lah, sebab sales berkurang. Why must we buy the new higher capacity, right? So that's why it is relevant, but it's not that we can rely 100% on the forecast sales tu, on the accounting information tersebut. Alright, so now kita akan tengok pada secondary qualities of accounting information, that are comparability and consistency. So what is comparability? Comparability is the information is measured in a similar manner across companies, which means that is a level of standardized of accounting information that allows the financial statement of multiple organizer to be compared to each other. Okay, maksudnya boleh compare lah. Financial statement company A boleh di-compare dengan company B. Financial statement industry A boleh di-compare dengan financial statement industry B. Macam tu, okay. So consistency pula, consistency is the same method is used for similar transaction across time. Consistent, okay. So both of these secondary qualities are required for information to be relevant and reliable. So now let's learn the important accounting principles. So kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 principles. Okay, 5 important accounting principles. First is the historical cost. Okay, so traditionally, accounting has used the historical cost concept for measuring and recording the value of assets and liabilities. Historical costs are values from actual transactions that have occurred in the past. So, historical cost accounting is also referred to transactions-based accounting. Okay. So the advantage of historical cost accounting ni is value and asset determined through arm's length bargaining is usually fair and objective. Inilah dia punya advantages of historical cost accounting principle. Dia fair and objective value from arm's length bargaining. What is arm's length bargaining means? It means that relating to transactions between two parties who are independent and do not have a close relationship with each other. Presumably, these parties have equal bargaining power and are not subject to undue pressure or influence from the other party. Itu ialah arm's length. Okay. So now let's take a look at the accrual accounting. Okay. Accrual accounting pula is used principally ialah we recognize revenues when earned and expenses when incurred. Okay, itulah accrual accounting. Kita recognize revenue when earned and recognize expenses when incurred. So next ialah materiality. Materiality threshold when information impacts decision making. According to FASB, the magnitude of omissions or misstatement of accounting information that in the light of surrounding circumstances makes it possible that the judgment of a reasonable person relying on the information would be changed or influenced by the omissions or misstatement. Itulah materiality. Okay. One problem with materiality is the concern that some preparers of financial statements and their auditors use it to avoid unwanted disclosure. Okay, sebab bila kita buat audit, contohlah ada apa-apa isu, so kita akan buat threshold, kita akan buat calculation lah sama ada dia tu material ke tak material. Bila tak material, so dia takkan audit lah benda tu. Okay, contoh benda tu maksudnya bila immaterial, auditor tu memang dah tak akan tengok langsung dah. Dia akan just tulis is immaterial lah. Contohnya kalau ada kesalahan apa-apa, omission ke statement ke apa, tapi dia tak akan go through sebab is immaterial. Sebab tu dia kata materiality ni boleh menyebabkan boleh avoid unwanted disclosure. Okay, it's compounded by the fact that there is no set criteria guiding either the preparer or user of information in distinguishing between material and non-material items. Okay, inilah masalah kepada materiality principle of accounting. Okay, so next kita akan tengok kepada conservatism. Okay, so conservatism principle ni is reporting or disclosing the least optimistic information about uncertain events and transactions. The most common occurrence of this concept is that gains are not recognized until they are realized, whereas losses are recognized immediately. Conservatism reduces both the reliability and relevance of accounting information in at least two ways. First, conservatism understates both net asset and net income. Second, conservatism results in selectively delayed recognition of good news in financial statements, while immediately recognizing bad news. So inilah conservatism, right? So conservatism ni kita boleh classify kepada two types of conservatism that are unconditional conservatism as well as conditional conservatism. So unconditional conservatism is a form of conservative accounting that is applied across the board in a consistent manner. Conditional conservatism refers to the adage of recognize all losses immediately but recognize gains only after they are realized. So maksudnya conservatism ni kita kalau dapat loss je terus kita recognize. Tapi kalau kita dapat gain, kita tak terus recognize. Kita bila betul-betul dapat gain tu baru kita recognize. So untuk conservatism ni kita nak analyse dia punya risk rather than the profit. Okay. Conservatism accounting concept ni ialah is a concept bila gain are not recognized until they are realized. Okay, Whereas losses are recognized immediately. Terus je kita recognize loss tu. Kalau ada loss, kita terus recognize. Itulah conservatism. So, implication conservatism ni, dia akan reduce both reliability and relevance of accounting information. Macam mana? Dengan cara dia telah understatekan asset dan juga net income, sebab dia tak recognize gain tu. Sebab tu dia understate. So bila dia understate, dia pun akan mengurangkan reliability and relevance of the accounting information. Besides that, conservatism ni juga dia delay recognition of good news, sebab dia tak record lagi gain tu, sehinggalah gain tu betul-betul di-realize. Okay, whereas untuk bad news, dia terus immediately recognize. For example, allowance of doubtful debt. Okay, kita tak tahu pun actually untuk tahun tu berapa yang kita akan incur untuk bad debt, tapi kita terus je buat anggaran. Mungkin sebanyak 5% of our account receivable kita tak akan dapat collect. Okay, itulah conservatism. So conservatism ni ada dua jenis, iaitu unconditional conservatism and conditional conservatism. Kalau unconditional conservatism ni, dia sedikit berlawanan dengan conservatism punya konsep, di mana kan kita biasanya kita terus losses are recognized immediately, tapi untuk dia ni kita write off expenditure tu. Itulah unconditional conservatism. Contohnya kalau macam R&D expenditure, kita return off. Bila dia incurred, kita return off. Tak kisahlah, kita regardless of their economic potential, sama dia berjaya atau tidak, kita terus return off R&D punya expenditure. Tu example tu unconditional. Kalau conditional, kita akan record losses immediately and gain when incurred. Okay, for example, untuk conditional ni, written down asset such as PPE or goodwill. So when there has been an economic impairment in their value, that is reduction in the future cash flow potential. In contrast, if the future cash flow potential of this asset increases, accountants do not immediately write up their value. The financial statement only gradually reflect the increased cash flow potential over time as when the cash flow are realized. Okay, that are the example of conditional and unconditional. Next, we're going to take a look at the fair value accounting. So asset and liability values are determined on the basis of their fair value, right? Fair value is typically the market price lah. So on the measurement date, or approximately the date of the financial statements, itu adalah fair value accounting. So kita dah pun tahu 5 accounting principles. So now let's go to the limitations of accounting information. So ada 3 types of limitation of accounting information. First, timeliness, frequency and forward looking. Since kita menggunakan historical data, so it's not reflect the real time basis lah. That's why timeliness is the limitations of accounting information, because it's based on past data, right? And then another limitation is the frequency. So financial statement ni kita akan keluar quarterly and annually lah. Okay, tapi for an analyst, kita bukan hanya analyse quarterly or annually, kita analyse whenever we need the information to be analysed. So sebab tu, because of the quarterly annual report ni, memberikan limitation kepada account information tu. And the third one is the forward looking, which means that this account information have limited prospective information. Kalau kita tengok dekat buku teks dia kata, okay, so forward looking ni alternative information sources, particularly analyst reports and forecasts, use much forward looking information ni to analyse. Tapi financial statements contain limited forecast. Further, historical cost-based accounting and conservatism usually yield recognition lags dalam financial statement tu. Okay, so where certain business activities are recorded at a lag. To illustrate, for example, okay, consider a company that signed a long-term contract with a customer. Okay, so analysts tu will estimate the impact of this contract on future earnings and firm value as soon as they are about to sign the contract. So nevertheless, financial statements only recognize this contract in future period when the goods or services are delivered. Sebab tu financial statement ni is not a forward looking financial information lah. Okay, so despite of these drawbacks, financial statement continue to be an important source of information to financial markets.